Okay, hello. I thought I'd show you one number jump of interest for Madonna's birthday through to a potential death date 4/4 2025. On the surface, this number does not look that interesting. 24339. Okay, it's not that interesting to be quite honest. If we dismiss the end date, um, we're back to the slight 38 reference, and one thing that's kind of interesting is 66 years 33 weeks old, but there's nothing interesting about this at all. Okay, but anyway, let's go back to this 24,339. Okay, 24,339 days. Let me show you something. Okay, I'm in the chart what I call the Queen's Cross. Again, this is, the reason why it's called the Queen's Cross is because the Queen died on this date here. It's at the top and bottom of this chart, technically speaking. If I just draw this line in here, you'd see technically what we're dealing with is these numbers at the top of here to do with the Queen's Cross. But what I have at the bottom of here, I know this looks complicated, but it's not really. What I have at the bottom of here is just some more number sequences that have been synchronized. Okay, so when I say more number sequences, what I have here is this green row is the actual numbers of pi, i.e. the transcendental number pi. Okay, 3.1 yada yada yada. In fact, I could just put the point in there to make that clear. Okay, and what I did is I just took the first 24 digits of that number and stuck it in the table to match up with the 24 digits of each of these cycles, okay, that are above, which is Fibonacci, Lucas, and what I call the pi cycle. I know it gets complicated. I only called it the pi cycle because look, it begins with the numbers of pi. Okay, anyway, so this is just the normal number of pi here, okay, which is synchronized. And what have I synchronized it to? Well, you'll know that the middle of this table is the numbers of pi again. This is the pi cycle. Yeah, so this 314 here. What I did is I just went down here and I synchronized 314 of pi with the 314 of the pi cycle. Okay, and lo and behold, I've only just done this. Lo and behold, what is at the center of this thing now is the 3/8, the gold. Okay, the gold is at the center of this thing. Okay, so let's do some other numbers down the bottom of here, because I've got to get to this bit and show you this bit about Madonna. Now, I also have the numbers of pi here again in red, and they're just starting where they would normally start. And I also have the golden ratio, phi, and it's starting where it would normally start here. Okay, so that's pretty simple so far. What I've done here, this particular cycle here now, is Fibonacci again. Okay, and all I've done is I've taken and I've synchronized Fibonacci to pi here, the red pi. And if you see, there's this 358 here, and it's just synchronized with the 358 that happens to be in pi. Okay, so those two cycles are synchronized with this 358. These two cycles are synchronized here. Okay, now I've got just regular old numbers of the golden ratio. Okay, this is interesting because Madonna's numbers are in here, and it happens to be where her numbers happen to be, which is double special, is within this golden ratio here, is this is a palindromic number again, 81618. So it's a perfect reflected number again with the gold, okay, because it's the golden ratio. Okay, and that's Madonna's numbers there. So obviously this tie-in with gold and reflective, you know, symmetry is interesting. Anyway, 618, that's her birthday, right? Now, this number obviously is at the beginning, so this is how, you know, you could write it in here. And below this is again another version, it's the same numbers, just started in a different place. This is golden ratio again, okay? And again, this 88 in the golden ratio here is now synchronized with the 88 in Fibonacci. Okay, so we have this one and this one synchronizing. So what I've done is I've just picked out little clumps of numbers that are the same and matched them up in different cycles. And so then what you can do is you can look between these things and say, oh, you know, what numbers are matching up in different places. I don't know if it's, you know, there's any validity to this technique or not or what, but it's kind of interesting fun, faffing about matching up numbers and looking for patterns. Anyway, one other thing to note is that this pi cycle as well, no, it's not the pi cycle, sorry, there's numbers of pi here. Notice what's at the center of this is the 8, 9 as well, okay, which is doubly interesting because this 8, 9 also matches up with this 8, 9 here, which is Fibonacci again, but it just so happens to start with 911 at this point. Okay, so you see how 911 and the queen at the center of this thing is matching up with pi and the same numbers. See how these things are matching? You know, is this why we see, you know, so many references, you know, with pi and 911? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's part of the reason why. Anyway, let's get to this number with Madonna. So we really want to be concerned. Let's change colors here, so I don't have to. Let's go to purple. We really want to be concerned with the 2 rows primarily with the golden ratio because her birthday is in here. Yeah. Okay. So let's just outline it again so you can see it. Okay, it's right here. Okay. Now, you know, for instance, let's look at some of the numbers that are above that. Okay, the 4, 9, 8. So we've got the Queen's death date, and we've also got this 4-9 date coming up, and this is also 4-4 is the 94th day of the year. Okay. Anyway, when we were looking at that other number, I was like 339. Oh, I know that is in the golden ratio, you know. So anyway, here it is. Right? Interesting, because it's matching up with 911 and it's matching up with 926, and there's there's some Olivia Newton-John connections with Madonna. What else is there? Linda Hamilton with what's his name from Terminator, who did Terminator. His birthday is 8/8/16. What else have we got? Right underneath this 339, anyway, get to the point, is 204. Yeah. So I was like, holy cow, that's super interesting that those 2 sets of numbers, yeah, 204, 339, are right below 911, right below 926. Yeah. And again, you know, when we're looking at synchronization here, you know, this 88 is matching up with this 88. Yeah. So, you know, this is synchronizing nicely with this now, you know, and again, this is the start of this. Again, matching up. I don't know actually if there is a match up with that actually, but anyway, it's all matching up. Oh dear, it's all matching up. Okay, that was just, I just thought it was interesting. Okay, these numbers here. Okay, 2 4, get rid of the 0, 3 3 9. I know that was so waffly. It's just late. I'm tired. Um, so sorry that's kind of overly complicated maybe, but yeah, those numbers are just right there, stuck together in my chart. Just so happens, you know. I'm going to leave it there for this one. Yeah, we'll see if something happens or not with Madonna. Maybe it'll be another release of some stupid music video thing again or something. But you know, just remember she had the 38 special in her video that she just did. So again, this idea of gold, and this is gold. Yeah, interesting connections. All right, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on another one soon. All right, cheers, bye.